Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you this earring that we're gonna make. So simple. So what you need to start with is a 12 millimeter Rivoli that we bezeled, and I showed you how to bezel them in the previous Beebeecraft collaboration. So I should say this is a Beebeecraft collaboration. So thank you very much, Beebeecraft, for all these lovely um, toys to play with. So I used the gold earring hook. I wanted to use the leaf one, but I found that this is gold plated, actually looked better with the earring. So that's what we went ahead and did. And I am using this is a gold plated clasp. Let me show you. And I will see if I can find these on Beebeecraft. I'm sure I can, and I will post the link. I will have all the links to all the stuff they sent me, and also the coupon code, which is Emma10, so Emma10, and that gets you 10% off your entire order. And just remember, if you place an order for $25 or more, you get free shipping. So that is super amazing. So let's take a look at what you need for this. Again, get your 12 millimeter Rivoli that you bezeled, and it just so happened I had some lovely teal ones, so it matched these beautiful navettes. They're done up like the Monties, so they have the cage around them with the double holes so that you can sew them on to things. And this is the smaller one, and I have both links for these, and they are lovely. They're so pretty. So two of those, well, one of each size, as you can see on this one here. And then you're going to need 3 of the cotton pearls. And what I did with the cotton pearls is I wanted the part where they drill through. You can see there's a little bit of a pieces sticking out from the drill. Just take that and rub it against your desk or a hard surface, or you can take your, one of your tools and just push them in a bit, just so that they're not sticking out. That's how easy it is to get that in there. So let's push these down. Then we'll do each one. And actually what I did with mine was I put them on the string together and then I pushed them and it worked. So if it's truly cotton in here, they compress pretty quickly. Just careful not to scratch the finish on the outside. You're going to need 3 3mm beads in a corresponding color. That's for this piece here. You can use a I want to say a 6/0 bead would fit that size as well. I mean, this is variable what you want to use, and there's a third one inside that clasp, so I used it to close over that piece. Then you're going to need 3 11/0s, and that's to create your to hold your pearl in place. So I ran into trouble with figuring out where to put the pearls, as to like how to string them. So I had them where I strung them across this way, but once I attached it to the bezel, you could see the holes, and I didn't want to see the holes. So that's why I ended up doing it this way. If you have another way to do it, let me know. I'd love to, it looks good, but it's not exactly what I wanted. And I tried putting more beads all the way across to kind of conceal that these are popping out, but it didn't look right. So we have these, and I think they look amazing. This is what it looks like on the back. So everything here is nice and smooth, so it's not an issue for wearing it. If you're concerned that this doesn't look finished, there's a few things you can do. You can actually do the beading with the 15 seed beads all the way around so that it covers the back of the Rivoli. And for this here, you could probably put a little bit of faux suede. You glue it on, or as like for the whole thing, you could actually do the whole thing with faux suede on the back. That's up to you. But that requires a little more work, a little beading work and stuff like that. And what I wanted to show you was something that you could do using those Rivolis that we made, and something that's super quick. So let's go ahead. I'm using some dragon thread. You can use any type of nylon thread. I did use white because I didn't want the like a green colored thread to show against the pearl. And as far as you can tell, there you really can't see it. So there's a bit around this. But I just take my needle and turn that so that they're facing that way. So let's get started. This part here, how you put your stuff on is up to you. Let's go ahead and start with the pearls. They're the easiest. Now, what I did was I put a stop bead on my thread, and I'm going to thread this in far away from any part here. So I'm going to thread it in somewhere in here, because then at the end I can take this off and just thread that through. So, I'm just going to go weave through a few of these till my thread is far away. And I'm going to go on an angle. And one more time. And that should be far enough away. So let me just adjust this. This one here is a bit loose. You can always go through and tighten everything. Okay, so actually, why don't we go ahead and start with the navettes, since we're right here, and that way we'll move to the other side. So you're going to start with your, I'm going to say the baby one, the teeny tiny one. And for this one, we want this top part, so you always face your navette up when you're doing it, when there's two different sides to something. And we want to go through the top hole, so just go through like that. And like that. So I do want this sticking out a bit at the bottom, but we're going to cross over this way and bring it up. So go through the second hole. And then you can go through the same hole at this point, like this, and pull it tight. Now I'm going to go back through that top hole, like that. And we're going to go through these a few times just to get them nice and snug. So now we can put our second one here. So this is how we want this one. So we want that one to go on that side of the small navette. So go through the bottom hole like that. And then step up through the second hole at the top like that. And don't worry if it gets loose. we are going to tighten everything. I cannot believe how loose this is. Okay. Let's get that in the right position. So like that. So now the hole that you're going to go in, just bring your thread over to see where it would fit. Sorry, here. And try and keep it in the middle holes. So since we're going to go through this again, I'm going to pick this hole here, this bead. You'll see it'll tighten it up like that. Okay, so now I am going to go back through the hole that I just came out of. And sometimes it's hard to find the other side of the hole, but just do your best. There, like that. I think because my needle's crooked too. There we go. There. And I think when I pull the thread tight, it pulls the bezel. So I will definitely go through this again and tighten that. Okay. So now I'm going to go through one more time and get it all snug up. So go to the bottom hole and you can go through the top hole of the small navette. There. Through here. I'm going to tilt the camera. That's why I keep getting out of the screen. Okay. So we've got that going. So that's pretty secure. We can go through that again at the end. So now let's find a spot to start putting the pearls. So let's go through this middle bead. One of the things that I did when I went back around to tighten these so that they didn't curl under is rather than go through the holes, I took my thread and I popped it around the prong and then pulled it tight so it brought it in like that. So that's a nice tip that you can do. You can't see the thread, so it's not a big deal. So let's go through these two, and that's where we're going to put our first pearl. And that kind of straightened it out. Let's get our pearl. Pick up your pearl and your 11-0 seed bead. That. Bring it down. And go back through the pearl. And pull your seed bead and bring your pearl down. Hold it there and then pull your thread so it snugs it up. So let's go through the next delica on your Rivoli. And you can get that tight again. Okie dokie. Let's get our next pearl. And an 11-0. And what I did too is I tried to pick an 11-0 that's nicely rounded so that at the end this just looks like a little rounded tip. Let's bring this down. that. And go through the pearl. Watch that it gets tangled here. Okay, so I'm going to go through this delica here. And I just pull the 11-0 out so that I can get it. And I'm going to go one over because they're starting to slant. I don't want to really have that happen. That should do it. Pick up your pearl. Get your 11-0 seed bead there. And go through your pearl. And that's okay if it gets loose like that. You just hang on to the seed bead and it will draw it in. Now, you're going to go through that same delica to secure it in there, like that. And again, like I said, you can go through it again at the end to secure everything, and I'm going to secure the Rivoli, the bezel. Okay, so now let's weave, because we're going to put our 3mm round beads so that we can attach the clasp. So we are coming out of that one, so let's do like this. And I did notice on the first one that my 3mm were a little too close, so one is tending to sit at the back. So just be aware of that and give it some space. There, like that. So you can see they are kind of flippy floppy, but once you go through them a second time, they're fine. So now we're going to pick up all 3 of these. These are your 3mm beads. And draw them down. And you want the last one you put on to sit right next to the first one you put on. So it's actually just one delica away from the one you came out of. That flipped around. There we go. Just like that. So now I am going to, let me see. Okay, it's right there. So I'm just going to go weave through a few just to tighten that. And then we'll go back up. Let's go here. And we'll go through everything one more time. Go through these. And it's probably a good idea to go through these 3 that you're adding on, the 3mm beads, because that's going to be what's holding this earring in place. So you definitely want that to be secure. Let's go through. Yikes, this Rivoli, this definitely needs a tightening around the middle there. Okay, let's go through the pearls. Let's see where my thread is. Okay. So remember to go through the 11-0 and then back down through the pearl. There. Okay. Let's go through one of the delicas. Try one on the back here. A little easier to see. Go through. This one. My needle's quite bent and it's making it a little hard to get through. Go up through the pearl, through the 11-0, back down through the pearl, and through the delicas. I went through 2 this time to take me to the final pearl. Just get my tail out of the way. And this is really snugging it up. So, through the pearl, through the 11-0, there, down through the pearl, there. These are quite, like, they're not moving that much. Okay, so we're going to go through the delicas. Let's go through these 2. And I'm going to use my trick. So this is all I did, is you just hold it and pull it. And it pops down. You can't really see it. So now I'm going to bring that down. Make sure this is in the right position. Okay. That down to the next delica. Bring that through. And we'll do the same for the navette, the smaller one. Let's see where we're at here. Let's go through the bottom hole first of the smaller navette. Get that nice and snug. And then go through the other hole. Let me try it from the back. we go. It was the beads were in the way. Okay, let's get this where we want it. Let me see if we need to adjust one of these. There. Okay. And we'll go through this and we'll come out the back. Like that. That's exactly what we want. So there's what we want. So now, normally I would weave this in and cut it off, but I'm going to hang on to that because I want to adjust this afterwards. Get it nice and tight, and the same with the. Let's move this off so that you can see. So that's what we have so far. And we're going to take our clasp and we're going to place it over that top bead. I'm going to grab my flat nose. Just be careful you don't scuff it up. And so the openings are on the side here, on each side. So you want to keep those to the side. Just close like that. That's it. Let's get the ear wire. So I had mentioned before, sometimes they're a bit crooked. Not a big deal. Just take your flat nose and squeeze, and it straightens it out. You could do the same for the back, and now they're straight. So let's see if that'll go on. There. That. So let's close this off. Like that. And you can just open that to go on your ear. And that is how easy it is. So I apologize for this, that if I'd have known that it was messed up, I would have fixed it ahead of time, but at least you get the idea. These are so amazing. And you now have gold-plated ear wires, gold-plated clasp, and these lovely earrings. So that is it. That's how easy it is. Thank you for joining me. We're going to do a whole bunch more earrings with the lovely stuff I got from Beebeecraft. You know, I put this on backwards, so it's supposed to go that way. Oh, I guess it is on correctly. So yeah, I'll show you this one next. So stay tuned. We also have this design. And this design, so this design was a attempt at figuring out something cool to do with the navettes. So I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this, but a bunch of people have asked about it, so we're going to have to do it. That's what it looks like on the back. I think this would probably be a pendant. So, but there's the lovely earrings. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. So don't forget, it's Emma10 for 10% discount on your entire order and free shipping after $25. And all the links are in the description. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video. And thank you so much to Beebeecraft. Bye.